Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be doing a video that I think is going to help a lot of people out here in NBA 2K25 My Team, and that is how to win more Showdown games effectively here in My Team, and just how to be a better online player in Showdown specifically, which is the main 5v5 sweatiest mode that the majority of people are playing in My Team, obviously outside of King of the Court, which is Saturdays only. So before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Help me push towards the 40,000 subscriber mark on the channel, uploading every single day, tons of consistent daily My Team content. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Staying up late to record this video. I'm recording this at like 1:30 a.m. on Wednesday night. And by the way, while I'm on the topic, my thoughts and prayers go out to everybody who's being affected by the hurricane, because as I record this video, that thing is smacking Tampa, and one of my best friends lives in Tampa. So really the whole Florida area, everyone who's affected by that, hope y'all are staying safe and hope everything is all right. But with that being said, without further ado, let's hop right into the video. And I am actually 25-5 in Tier 1 Showdown this season, so pretty darn solid, I would say. Definitely think I might not be the best player in the world, but I've definitely got enough success and have had enough success to where I hopefully can give y'all some tips and really help y'all to be as successful as possible in Showdown. This is the team I'm currently running. Not a single pink diamond besides Tracy McGrady, but a lot of good cards nonetheless. It's not like I have a bad team. I got a very solid team for sure, and I got a lot of MT as well because I sold my Kareems. So that gives me MT to deal with future drops and to interact with future drops in content, of course. But at the end of the day, you just need a good team. I think as long as your team is solid, it's a team you feel comfortable with, you got good cards across the board. I've made tons and tons of ranking videos and gameplays and all that type of stuff to help you check out the cards that you should be adding to your squad. But as long as you got a good team, you should be fine. I'm not super concerned about team when it comes to Showdown, because if you're a good player, at the end of the day, that will take care of itself as long as your team is good enough. And so with that being said, this is the team we're going to be rocking with, and we're going to hop into a Showdown game and talk about all the things that you can do effectively to succeed. But first and foremost, coach game plan. This is one of those things you want to make sure you have set, which is your freelance. If you run plays, you want to have your plays set. Defensively, you want to have your defensive settings set as well. Like, you just want to overall have these things set to how you want them. And I have a video on my defensive settings on my channel. I may make an updated one in the near future if I change some more stuff. I did actually change one thing from it already. Have your timeout, player minutes, substitution, adaptive coaching engine on manual and off, all that type of stuff. Late game fouling on manual. Just make sure you have your coach settings set up how you want them. But with that being said, that's not really the point. Let's hop into the game and talk about how you can actually play better in game to consistently get more wins. All right, hopping into this Showdown game, we're going up against a dude who, I mean, admittedly, I wouldn't say this is the best team. Byron Scott, Anthony Parker, T-Mac, Artis Gilmore, and Drew Gooden. I wouldn't say this is the greatest team I ever played against, and I'm not too mad about that, I guess. But he is a Tier 1 player, so he may give me a pretty good game. We will have to see. With that being said, first things first, we win the tip. When you win the tip, make sure you get your freelance on immediately. It is very important to have good spacing. I would run Comp, 5 Out, or Bucks 2018. Those would be the three freelances that I would recommend running, just for y'all's information. So let's get our pick and pop going, and let's just see what we can do. I generally run a lot of pick and pop to start games and then adjust as the game progresses. That was, I thought, a pretty good take, and he gets a tight contest on it. I can't be too angry about it. When stuff doesn't go your way, and I'm going to repeat this probably 10 times in this game, you just can't let it get on your nerves. The more you get flustered and allow yourself to get flustered, the less effective of a game you're going to have as a whole. Right there, that could have easily had a steal, but luckily he misses the open mid-range, and we get ourselves a stop. So we are right back on the offensive end of the court. Another very important thing is learning to recognize mismatches and make the right play against them. Basically, how to attack effectively. We get around him there, Artis, and he just gets the greatest animation I've ever seen in my life. I don't really know what to say about that other than that, but great defense right there by Andrew Wiggins. And that play right there defensively, by the way, is exactly why I recommend that it is incredibly crucial. Good shot by Alex English to learn to icon switch on defense and icon pass on offense, especially icon switching on defense, but really both is very, very important to having any level of real success in this game. And I mean, this is a mismatch here, 100%, but we just got to do the best we can with Willis Reed and try our best to get interior stops. And we got one there, but unfortunately got the offensive rebound. And you know what? We will live with it. That's the thing that he probably has going for him for the most part. So we got to do our best to effectively get stops against it. Catch and shoot, Al Harrington, wide open for three. I can't miss that. But at the end of the day, can't get too frustrated about it, because that's just not going to do me any favors. When you miss shots, when whatever happens, when you get hoed by the game, like, you just can't let yourself get frustrated by it, because when you do, it's going to make it tough. But good defense right there. Honestly, defensively, I think the most important thing is learning besides icon switching, because icon switching is super important. And there's a bunch of other things that y'all will see me do in this game that you might not know how to do yourself effectively. And if not, that's okay. I just missed again. First game on tonight. Can't let myself get tilted by it. That's unfortunate, but you just can't get too frustrated by it at the end of the day, because what are you going to do, right? Good contest there. He's probably going to get another offensive rebound. I knew he was going to. Exasperating to start this game this way, but no doubt about it. But that's a bad shot, and we do get ourselves a stop. Missing multiple shots to start off the game. Not playing too great on either end to start this one off, but that is okay. I'm not too mad about it. Dribble drive here. Oladipo to the rim, and he gets the dunk. Offensively, my main recommendation would be to take what they give you and try to be unpredictable as well. Don't run just pick and pop. Don't run just pick and roll. Attack from different sides. Reject the screen. Use the screen. Just be creative with the way that you play. That's a good fade right there. When they make tough shots like that, because that's not an easy shot, you live with it defensively at the end of the day. Just try to read what they're doing. Try to learn how to react to it so you can effectively get stops, and just do your best. And if it's not always going to go your way, but that is okay. Like, you just got to do the best you can, really, on both ends of the court, and just make them work. Because I mean, not every possession is going to be beautiful on both sides, but you got to do the best you can, and stay composed, I think, is probably the most important overall tip. But the reason icon switching, by the way, is so important defensively is because it allows you to recover and make changes and fix issues that your game might make for you at such a high level, because you can recover to so many different things and click onto any player at any time, which gives you so much control compared to what you could have. As we get I'm baffled. I'm not going to lie. I don't think I've missed 3 straight shots with Al Harrington all year. I think y'all might have just seen me miss 3 straight shots with Al Harrington for literally the first time. But you can't let it tilt you at the end of the day. Just got to shoot better. I'll start making shots. I have no real doubts about that. Even if we didn't make that one, we will eventually start to make some shots, and we do get ourselves a stop still. So we're up 2, and I think we're playing pretty terribly. Wide open 3. I greened it. It was an open, and yet he blocked it. That's interesting. I thought it was going to be open. I guess that's just artist being 7-2. Again, cannot let it fluster you at the end of the day, because that's not going to do you any favors. Kick to the corner again. Al Harrington, try to run and fade. It's not there. And that's not a good quarter, plain and simple. I missed a bunch of wide open shots. And to be fair, that's going to happen your first game of the day. I'd probably recommend, honestly, especially when you just first get on, to probably go into freestyle and practice your releases, get your shots down and all that type of stuff, so that you're greening more often than I am. But I'm just missing shots at the end of the day to start this one off. And yes, shooting is harder this year, but it's not that hard. I should be able to hit wide open, especially with elite level 3-point ratings. And right now, I'm not hitting with a guy like Al Harrington, who has damn near the best release in the game. So when that happens, you just got to live. That is a terrible animation, but we get a stop. Great defense right there by Willis Reed, and we do get ourselves another stop, and we got a wide open 3 here. Again, shoot with confidence. And generally, if you're good at the game, you're not going to miss as much as I am right now. I truly don't know what to say, to be completely honest, at this point in the game with the way that this is going. Like, I really have not, I don't think I've struggled to shoot this much all year. Dude, I can't hit anything. This is one of those rare games where literally nothing works. And yet, we finally green a shot with Al Harrington, and we have ourselves a 10-5 lead, despite playing, honestly, I think, pretty terrible offensively. But just be consistent defensively. Don't give up easy shots. Make them work for everything, and eventually things will go your way for the most part. And if you're playing against an elite level player, I mean, you're not going to win every single game at the end of the day, right? But you can win a whole heck of a lot more than you probably are right now if you are able to, number 1, stay composed, and number 2, learn to adjust to what your opponent is doing and how to respond to it, and learn to be more predictive on both ends of the court, to be honest, on what they're going to do. And also just play to your card's strengths and don't let them play to theirs as much as you can. Like Drew Gooden, I wouldn't say he's an unbelievable popper. He's a decent popper. I could have contested that a little bit better than I did. And I guess it is what it is. When you got an open lane, take your dunk. Oladipo has an open lane. Don't be afraid to take what is there. Don't overforce the 3. Be willing to take what is there on both ends of the court every single play, and you will have success. Great defense there again. Click on when they're dragging back. That's why icon switching again. I mean, you don't need to icon switch for that stop specifically, but it's certainly, I hit the wrong icon there. I had Wiggins wide open in the corner for 3. But again, I mean, you're going to live with it. Dribble drive here. He's probably going to switch it. He does switch it. We're going to force the closeout because he knows that Al Harrington's a shooter, and that is just a fluky animation. But again, you can't get tilted by it. Not everything is going to go your way. Great play by Wiggins defensively. And yes, we're having a struggle of a game to start this one off. No doubt about it. but we're up by 4, and I think we are in a position where we should hopefully be able to obtain control of this one pretty quickly if we continue to play well, which, I mean, or start to play a little bit better than we are right now. But again, making them work, be willing to go under a screen. If they're not showing this, especially that they're going to shoot the ball a ton, just make them work as much as you possibly can. And again, good things will probably happen for the most part. Great defense right there again. And just, we're making everything hard for them, and we're taking what we can offensively. And while I've missed a bunch of shots, like at the end of the day, that's going to happen, and you can't let it stress you out. You can't let it panic you by any means, because it is going to happen. So reject the screen, or actually use the screen there because he helped there, and he's going to leave a shooter kind of open. Actually, no, he's not. Wow. Artis Gilmore, just huge, able to recover to things that I think other cards really wouldn't be able to, but that's on me, and that's a great play. I didn't get the steal. I should have gotten the steal. That's the benefit of knowing the icon switch and being able to anticipate what your opponent's doing. I saw T-Mac open and I manually clicked on to recover there. That's again why the icon switching is so important, so that you can manually make those recoveries. And I didn't get a stop, but I should have gotten a stop. And so I'm shooting 6 of 16 from the field, and I'm playing good defense. So even if it's not all going the way that I want it to, like at the end of the day, that's not the most important thing in the world. Willis Reed gets by Artis Gilmore. Artis Gilmore has a speed deficiency, so he's dominant on the inside, yes, but I know he's not a great guy in terms of speed, and so we're going to, again, try to take advantage of that. Also, if your opponent's playing a non-shooting center like Artis, and this is something I haven't done at all, and is it the nicest, coolest thing in the world to do? Maybe not, but you don't have to just respect them as a shooter, at least until they prove they can shoot. Even with a guy like, for example, a Tim Duncan or a Sidney Wicks, or somebody who's a very good card but maybe has a lower 3-ball rating. Good shot by Willis. Please green it. Beautiful. We knocked down the 3-ball. Very, very nice shot. Now we got a 7-point lead. But again, there's no shame in leaving them open. Make them prove it. Even with a lower 3-ball player, like, you don't have to respect them like crazy if they're not a great shooter. Know the personnel that your opponents are using. Know your personnel and do the best you can to make the right play and make the right read on both ends every single play. And if you are consistent, you will consistently have success. We got a size advantage there. I don't get the animation I want. Willis Reed's really tired, but he gets the offensive rebound anyway because we got a big size advantage, and we get ourselves an and one. And so despite what I would consider honestly a pretty bad half, we got ourselves a 10-point lead going into the halftime, and I think that is pretty great, all things considered. So cannot be mad about how this game is going so far, despite not playing very well, in my opinion. Another recommendation, I know this one is obvious, but at least it should be obvious if it's not. Make sure you run a bench. Do not come out here with a 5-man lineup. That is not going to favor you. In fact, I'm putting in my bench right now. This dude's bench lineup, by the way, to be completely honest, just isn't very good. I think we should be able to honestly, realistically start to flood, I think, just because his team doesn't seem very good. I mean, he's got Spud Webb back at point guard. That's not a card that I think I would recommend running, all things considered. So his bench is not great. But by the way, a couple things that I will probably do here in the near future that I'm sure a lot of y'all would appreciate and like. Number one, I'm probably going to make a dribble tutorial in the near future. And number two, I'm probably going to make a tutorial on some defensive things such as X switching as well. And hopefully those things will give y'all some tips and help y'all out as well. But this game is very quickly turning into a flood. I played poorly in the first quarter, but we're starting to make shots and we're starting to play the right defense, play the right offense, and starting to learn his tendencies to a certain extent as well. And it's starting to pay out results. That right there is my mistake. Knowing personnel. I didn't do a good job of it there. Tried to switch off of Zach LaVine to recover Cycly back onto his Cycly, and that's a bad pass too. Again, just not making the right read there, not taking what's easy. That right there was an example of me forcing a 3-ball when I didn't need to, after giving up a 3-ball to an elite shooter and by trying to switch a matchup. But I just can't get greedy there. I made the wrong play there, and it honestly wound up costing me on both ends of the court on those last 2 possessions, and that's the type of thing you don't want to do, especially when you build a lead like this. Don't do stupid. Just keep doing what got you there. Don't do stupid stuff. Attack mismatches. Make the right play. Make them beat you, not the other way around. And honestly, even if you're not like, let's say you're a 30% win percentage player right now, and you're not a great player, but you're trying to get better. This is the type of thing that'll get you to a 50 win percentage player. And then slowly you'll learn more and more things, and you'll become a 75 win percentage player. And it's just, you continue to progress as you get better and as you learn. And it's all, at the end of the day, this game is not super duper complicated. Like, it's not the simplest game that's ever been made, but I would say it's not super duper far off either. Like, this is not the hardest game in the world. You just got to get consistently good with your jumpers. Learn how to dribble a little bit. Learn how to switch on defense again, which is so important. And I keep on saying it because it is incredibly important. But just make the right play with consistency on both ends, and you will have success. And when you get hoed, don't get flustered. When things don't go your way, don't get flustered. and learn tendencies as you go in the game, because you will kind of figure out what your opponent's trying to do for the most part, because a lot of people are very predictable, and predictability is not hard to counter, I would say. So we're going to go pick and roll here. We're going to quick slip the screen, try to slip Cycly inside. I know my personnel. Cycly's an elite standing dunker. If he gets a little bit of room going towards the rim, he's almost always going to dunk the ball around the rim right there, and we get ourselves an and one. Don't try to force your players to do things they're not capable of. Now, if your opponent is expecting me, for example, to run a pick and roll with Cycly and slip my center to the rim, got to be able to change things up. Don't want to do the same thing over and over again, because it gets easy to beat. Right there, I rotated to the guy he was trying to pass it to. I made the right read. It was a good rotation by me. Should have been a steal, and I didn't get rewarded. And that's okay, because that's going to happen. And then he plucks me with squad web as well. And I guess that's that. At that right there is just good defense. Like, I can't get too mad about it at the end of the day. So just it's the same type of thing that I keep saying. You just got to be consistent on both ends of the court. Don't let them slip behind you if you can defensively. That's a specific tip right there that I think is actually pretty useful. Don't let them slip behind you defensively with a center who's a really good dunker, especially. Play them to roll when it is a player who is more effective as a slipper and a dunker than as a shooter. If it is somebody like an Al Harrington and they're showing that they're going to run the pick and pop, guard that pop. Don't be more willing to X switch and to do different things defensively. Like, you just, again, you have to be able to, if you recognize what your opponent is trying to do, you get to a point where you are able to generally kind of cage them, especially in this game where defense is as good as it is. It just becomes really, really hard to score when you are not changing things up with consistency and not doing a lot of different things. And honestly, my opponent is kind of not doing much of that. He's generally running to fade, he's doing a lot of run around the circle. And I mean, hey, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Like, that was a bad pass right there. Should not be doing that. The result is actually going to be okay. Well, no, it's not, because I was trying to pump fake and I went up. It's my bad. It's bad offense there, but that's going to happen. And hey, again, we're going to live with it. So at this point in the game, this game is pretty much secured, and this dude's team isn't great. So I feel like we're in a decent spot regardless, but we're going to do our best to finish this one out. And Jamal Crawford, we know his personnel. We know what he can do. He can shoot the crap out of the ball. Elite level release. We get a little bit of space and we knock it down. We got ourselves an 18-point lead with 15 seconds left in the third quarter, and we're in a great spot at this point. He's going to a lot of pick and pops. So we're just doing the best we can to cut that off. And then once he pops and he doesn't have the pop open, he's trying to dribble drive. So stay in front of that. A lot of people, when they run pick and pop and the pop is boxed and they throw it out to the pop, they're just going to try to run around you. Back it up a little bit. Don't make it easy. Run these guard to guard screens. Another great way to get open where it doesn't involve the big man as much, and you can switch up the pick and roll and the pick and pop and different angles coming up the court and stuff like that. Being able to change things up on both ends of the court and all these types of things is so crucial. And if you do all these things, you have your freelance on for spacing. You learn how to icon switch so that you can make the right icon pass on defense and you can make the right play on offense as well. If you do all those things, you will have success. Plain and simple. You will get better at the game. Whatever stage you are at the game right now, you will find yourself improving. That's the honest truth. And so it takes time, and sometimes there might be certain things you just don't know how to do, and that's okay. If that's the case, then you can always YouTube it, try to figure it out. But just, there's so much to unlock in this game that I think a lot of people, when I see people play the game, and just like the casual player that play the game, and there's nothing wrong with not understanding all these types of things, but if you learn how to read your opponent better and learn how to do small things that can make a big difference, like the icon switching, like eventually X switching, like some of the basic dribble moves, which there's lots of dribble tutorials out there already. I haven't made a MyTEAM dribble tutorial, but there's lots of dribble tutorials out there already for you to learn from. When you learn how to do all that type of stuff, and you learn how to make the right read consistently against different personnel and all that type of stuff, you will find your offense just absolutely unlocking and your defense absolutely unlocking, and you will just see significant improvement, I think, relatively quickly as well, because I don't think this is the hardest game to be good at, to be totally honest. I don't think it's all that hard. So with that being said, we are up 1 million. I think I have talked enough. And so hopefully this is useful information. I know I'm not saying the most incredibly specific things, because it is kind of hard to be incredibly specific about certain things. I can't explain everything I'm doing because I just quite simply can't talk that fast. But hopefully these types of things and these types of tips and the gameplay that I play and the way that I'm playing can give y'all the information that you need, the necessary information to continue to improve at the game and continue to learn. And hopefully y'all will be able to get better at the game through this video and through continuing to play and continue to learn. So with that being said, I think that right there is where we can call the video, to be honest. We have ourselves a massive lead here, so I am not concerned with losing this game. And there you go, icon passing. That wasn't going to be an open pass unless I icon passed it. Because I did, I'm able to get a 3-ball off of that offensive rebound. And is that a little lucky to get that rebound there? Should I force that layup up with Oladipo? No. But did it wind up working out? Yes, it did. And we are in a good spot again because of it. Up by 24 here, just absolutely decimating our opponent in this one. And honestly, it's nice to be able to do that. So with that being said, I think we're going to call the video there. Hope y'all did enjoy. Hopefully this one helped y'all out. If so, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.